Welcome to the Slade
and Wade Podcast.
This is where we discuss all things in geekdom and nerd culture.
I'm the anime and movie nerd.
And I'm the tech and weapons specialist.
Somehow we don't hate each other, so we figured why not start a podcast?
So sit back and strap in for the Slade and Wade Podcast. So this week, a lot of crazy stuff has been happening all over tech, gaming, news in general. So let's get right into it, man. Xboxes, bro. So last week was PlayStation and all their hype and whatnot. But this week, Xbox went pretty crazy, right? They had the pre-orders that launched. And their pre-orders were showcasing how difficult their naming scheme really mattered. Like the naming scheme matters for all these people, right?
Mm-hmm. I mean, 100%.
Like, when you have someone saying, hey, man, I want the Xbox Series X, and then they go on Amazon to purchase Xbox One X, and to the point where all the Xbox One X's, the value of it just went like 400% on Amazon, like literally the top-selling console because people got them confused on the Series X. You know Microsoft screwed up the pooch right there in terms of naming their next gen consoles right there.
Right, because I mean, who's 90% of the market? It's gonna be like a mom or a dad like buying their kids something to shut them up and like keep them busy.
Little granny, like, I just want to buy my niece niece and nephew a new Xbox system. It's like, and they like the new grandpa, ma, dad, I want the new Xbox Series X. Okay. Gets online. First thing they search up is going to be Xbox One X. It's going to pop up first because that's the most relatable thing that's going to pop up most recent for Xbox. And
I mean,
crazy.
in my past at GameStop, even like, you know, when Xbox One came out, you know, parents would buy their kids like Xbox originals because they're like, oh, they want the Xbox One, so like I'll just get Xbox, right? The original Xbox. And they were so mistaken. 360 was a better term, but yeah, they messed up their naming scheme, and they should have known this because of all the confusion with the Xbox One and Xbox original and Xbox X.
It's so weird. Like they have that, like you said, the multiple experiences going through that, but also just people like during their announcement of the new Xbox One X, people were just botching their names like crazy. People were saying the One X multiple times and not saying Series X. So you have a lot of people just like, what do I say? Like, is it the right thing? Is it Series S? And also, it's the same letters. So it's kind of from the previous generation. So then you're just swapping out One and Series. Who's your marketing team? Like, you should honestly must have like, hey, let's phase out all of the One X. Let's phase out all the One S. So then they're not confusing people that are existing trying to find the Series X. But it made up. I bet Amazon is having a great time. All their customer service is like, okay, I'm sorry, let's cancel all the orders for them. And the problem also is that the One X still costs about $490. And that's the renewed, refurbished one that's on Amazon. So
it's almost the same price as the Series X is going to be.
Right?
So what? Like, it doesn't really make any sense.
So it's also Amazon's fault as well for having the renewed version, aka refurbished, up on the listing saying for $490, which is pretty unrealistic for the price. And then that's the first thing people see when they look up the new top selling gaming consoles. They don't see the Series X, they see the One X. And don't get me wrong, like if you look at them, they're two different things. One is a cube with holes on top, and the other one is a rectangle. Like you should tell them apart, but they happen to be both black and both like angular and that Xbox like, you know, design. And when you search them up, the first one is One X. There's no like at least the One S is distinguishable. It has that nice, you know, kind of black circle on the top, and then the white body and the contrasting, you know, nice colorful palette, so people could kind of tell it apart. But there's no way telling that apart from the Series X, even though it's a cube, it's like a square. You should tell it apart, but honestly, off the spot, you really can't.
Right. I mean, it's really disappointing because like they, not to be total like Sony shows, they are doing some things right.
Yeah.
They are getting some good games, some actual decent exclusives. Halo's coming back,
right?
With Halo Infinite, right? So they're going to sell well.
Yeah.
But that mishap is not good for business.
No, yeah, at all. And they definitely need to fix that up. Honestly, it's kind of interesting because the past couple of years, Sony has been the one that's kind of sticking the same roots in terms of design, like same controller, all that, for multiple generations. But this year they switched it up completely. They have the white and black design, the Seto Kaiba, aka the router with white boards, 2 pieces of paper right between the router, the Captain Underpants controller. People make this it here and left and right, but it honestly, I like the look of it. Don't get me wrong, I kind of like the look of it. It is gonna be really tall, but they did change it up this year compared to like Xbox, who has been constantly changing their designs for the past couple of years. So I think it was a good time for Sony to actually switch it up and say, hey, by the way, yeah, our controllers are different, our console's different. And Xbox, they have a good formula. Like their controllers, their Elite controllers, their regular controllers is solid. Like everyone loves them, especially shooters, console players that play shooters. It's a solid game controller. So they want to switch it up and say, you know what, fine, we're tired of doing kind of like smaller controllers. We'll try to like fit our demographic with the new PS5. So it's kind of cool though. Like now, one thing though is that like we were talking about before that, Xbox is kind of slacking on exclusives. Now with the newest deal that they did with Bethesda's Softworks for $7.5 billion, they bought multiple games under their library, under their wing, and according to Microsoft, it's not going to be exclusive. So it's not going to be all these games are going to now exclusively be only on Xbox. It's going to be like, hey, well, it's going to be in generally everywhere, but there'll be sometimes here and there'll be time to time that we'll have things that won't show up or might not show up. They haven't really worded it saying that way, but I think they did it because they want to add more stuff into the Game Pass. They're really trying to push that Game Pass out so people could buy, and spend $15 a month for a Game Pass that includes all these games, all the sequels to it, and on top of Halo, on top of Fable, on top of all the games that are going to come out for the Xbox. So it's a really good deal for them because they only had like a couple studios that were under their belt. They had a lot of canceled games, and then all their big player games are pretty much coming out next year. There's nothing really coming out at launch that's going to be like, yo, I got to get an Xbox Series X. But
I mean, there's somehow people are still very excited about it. I mean, I think their strong exclusives are as strong as any regular PlayStation game. PlayStation just has more of like a multitude of exclusives.
Yeah, they have a lot of good single player games. Like my friend, shout out to my friend they'll joke around saying like PlayStation is meant for lonely people, but honestly, because it's all these single player games. So honestly, it's just all the games that it has is kind of all kind of cinematic movie. Like it's meant to entertain you. Uncharted, Last of Us, God of War. All these games are like they slap. They hit hard. They're meant to entertain you and keep you enjoyed in that story. But Sony has been slacking, honestly, on exclusives for multiplayer, which Halo and Gears cover. They're not the most, still play games to this date. Like, Call of Duty is like in the throne of that top throne. CSGO is still up there. Overwatch, etc. Those games still get played constantly.
Fortnite.
Fortnite, of course. And those are multi-platform games. So I think like in the sense of like say Xbox and Microsoft, what they're doing is like, hey, you know what? This exclusive shit is not gonna work out for us for long term. Yeah, we could get the new Halo and it could be good, but it's not gonna be the best game for so long because maybe they could, maybe they cannot, but they'll need to have it in a way that it goes on both PC and on Xbox and get more value for it. Like that's why even PlayStation, they released their Horizon Zero Dawn game on PC. It made financial sense. They're like, yo, by the way, we're gonna make more money. Either way, it might be exclusive. Xbox players won't get it, but PC has been growing up. PC players have been the pirated motherfuckers that everyone hated, to now everyone wants to have their own PC. Everyone having their own RGB setup. It's like a status, a flex symbol now. So it's like, hey, this is my new car kind of thing, but it's in my desktop and I can play any game I want.
I mean, yeah, and that's going to continue because everybody's at home for the most part, right?
It's the perfect time. Yeah.
So stepping up your computer setup. I mean, we have some friends that have just stepped up their computer and gaming setups, so that they can, spend more time at home and enjoy spending more time at home.
Right.
So that, it's going to be a good time for PCs, which again is also Microsoft. So they're not totally, messed up. I mean, that shows in them making a $7.5 billion purchase of Bethesda.
Yeah.
So, I mean, good on them. I wish for the best. I'm still probably going to get a PlayStation first, but I hope the best for Xbox. They need a win. They need some serious wins.
Yeah, they do. They need to slap hard and showcase who's boss. It's just, I really hope that this, like, for me, this kind of got me more excited about Microsoft again. Honestly, I was not like, I was like, for me personally, I was like, okay, Halo, it might be good, it might be not. I mean, the presentation of it was kind of like half-assed, so I wasn't really super excited for it. And I was gonna be like one of those times where like, I'm just gonna wait and see. And then the other games as well, Fable, I'm like, yo, let me wait and see because it's been a while. Fable was like the best. Fable 2 still all time when I played it a lot. So like,
yeah, Fable was like that crack for me for a little bit. It was like how I feel about Sid Meier's right now. I used to feel about Fable.
Sid Meier's, man. This guy's been hooked on Sid Meier's. Yo, this is like the guy that would randomly, yo, man, I know it's a weekday. We got work in the morning at 9. It's at 11 o'clock. You want to play?
I know it's 4 a.m., but like, can we get like a 6-hour game?
6-hour session, real quick. We won't get anything done though, but we'll definitely get enough done to get at least in modern era.
Yeah, I love that game so much.
I feel like if there's a Civ 7, man, if Xbox released Civ 7, it was an exclusive, some crap like that, and they brought it out, you would have been like, yo, it's over.
I mean, another past love of mine, Rocket League, is now teaming up with Fortnite.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the smartest move in the history of gaming companies. I mean, we just talked about the Microsoft buyout, but like teaming up with Fortnite is a good move for Rocket League, and having a little bit more reminder that Fortnite's still a thing is good for Rocket League fans too. Like, it's all very, very profitable, it sounds.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna be buying new skins in both of them, and new cars, new whatever. So I think they're brilliant, in so many levels. I mean, I might actually pick up Fortnite again and
wow,
just play a couple rounds.
Damn.
But Rocket League.
I respect Fortnite. I'm not it's enjoyable. It's not something that I would play all the time. Like, I used to play for Battlefield Bad Company 2, man. That game was my drug. For multiplayer shooters and stuff. But it's more like a casual game for me. Like, I'll just play it once in a while, but I can't get so serious into it. I know people that do, and more props to them, but for me, for some reason, I still can't get into it like that, where it's really, I guess because it's like how I played all my games, been more like cooperative. Like you're in a squad, you're like working together. And
yeah, it's so unforgiving. I don't know how
yeah,
so many people got into it.
yeah,
Because you can jump into Fortnite, right? And you're like, all right, cool. I'm getting materials. Cool, 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 cool. All right, the circle's shrinking. I'm going to come to the middle. Blah, blah. And oh no, I'm immediately killed in 1 second. Oh, got to start over a new lobby.
yeah.
If you're not good, you're wasting more. You're spending more time in the load screens than you are in the actual game.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean that is like the drug for it though. Like the best thing about it is like, oh crap, you know, you have to get good. If not, you're pretty much letting down your whole entire team. So
right. At least if you're trash in Rocket League, you're still gonna go through a whole match and you're gonna have fun flipping around, doing whatever the hell you want. But the barrier of entry is not as high.
yeah,
But it also has to kind of be your thing to want to drive rocket powered cars. And I mean,
yeah,
if you didn't grow up with Twisted Metal, you might not understand how cool that is.
true.
But yeah, I mean that's gonna be amazing. I think. I maybe download Rocket League again, and well, also the $10 credit that you get in Epic Games.
Oh yeah,
Good enough.
so
Good enough incentive.
So for the moment, we're not sponsored by Epic Games, but Epic Games, if you want to, let us know.
We can
But
talk.
we could talk. You know, let's do it. I know we're starting out, but you know. So Epic Games is doing a promotion right now that if you get Rocket League, for the first 30 days, you can get yourself a $10 coupon. So Rocket League is completely free right now, on your Epic Games. So it doesn't matter if you, let's say, if you have it on Steam, on PlayStation, it is cross compatible. So you can still play with your friends no matter what. And then you get a $10 coupon for anything you purchase over $15. So let's say if you get a you get a $15 game, you can use that $10 coupon to purchase it. It's not valid for anything that's less than $15 though. So that's just a heads up there. So any games or add-ons or whatever that cost more than $15, you can use that coupon for it. And it's a win-win, honestly. There's no, you
You
know,
have nothing to lose.
yeah, you get technically paid to get the game. So it's a good game. So they're adding more content. They have the new battle pass or new season. I don't know. They already had multiple seasons, but I guess they're redoing their seasons again. And then they have this Fortnite promotion going on. So that's pretty cool. So all that kind of collaboration going on is kind of how you collaborate in Among Us, which is now so popular that instead of working on their sequel, they're gonna put all their efforts into the current Among Us game and kind of make it into a platform. They haven't said that exactly, but they're putting all the efforts that they've done for the sequel, all the maps, all the stuff, they're gonna put it right in Among Us, and they kind of might as well make it into like the Fall Guys, into the Rocket League or the Fortnite, into its own service. So
Right.
So they're working on maps, they're working on costumes, all the work. So it's awesome time to be a gamer right now.
Yeah. I mean, you pay $5 for a game, and you're just gonna slowly get updates, um, that are gonna make the game better. You
Yeah.
know, a new map, and some bug fixes, of course. And yeah, I mean, it's not a lot that they're offering, at least initially.
Yeah.
But I think you know, more skins would be cool too. More playability, like more functionality. I mean, I've only barely scratched the surface of like going into vents and you know, killing people and looking at security camera recordings. Like I haven't gotten into all like the minutia of that stuff, but
Yeah.
I think that if you give it more features, it'll be the most popular game in the world for a while.
Actually, dude, looking at the stats right now, this is just looking at the current Twitch viewers. It went from, so Fall Guys was one of the popular games. It's still a popular game. It's still as popular as Minecraft on Twitch. But it's now in that stage where Twitch is about, let's say, 27 viewers right now on a Thursday evening. There's like 21,000 viewers for Fall Guys. So 21,000. Now they were around 200,000. So the highest viewers right now is actually Among Us. Surprisingly, it's a game that it shocks me because it's a game that it's mostly played with friends and people that and you get together, and it's similar to Werewolf or
Town of Salem, Mafia.
Exactly those games. So we now have a game that's been out for some time. It's been out since 2018. The developers have been working on it for so long, and I guess as a double mantra of the fact that it has similar characters that look like Fall Guys, people looked at it and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's give it a shot. It's just $5 versus $20 of Fall Guys," and people got in. And I think it's now the popularity of people just seeing all the thieviest thing that's could happen is making it super exciting, super enjoyable to watch compared to Fall Guys. Because I think if Fall Guys was also in that lower price range, like $5 or maybe free to play, then people would have been, as popular watching it compared to Among Us. Well, Among Us is just doing great. There's so many people that are just dedicating their time watching it. Even say Ninja, who just came back recently to Twitch, and he would have been playing Fortnite if he wanted to, but instead he's been playing, Among Us with his friends and a lot of other popular Twitch gamers and YouTube gamers and Facebook gaming content creators as well, been just playing Among Us. It's just that entertaining.
I mean that's the interesting thing. It kind of shows the relationship between Twitch streamers, and YouTube streamers in general. With the fan base, they can really control and influence the market in terms of games. Because if they didn't do their massive collaborations, Ninja, Pokimane, Shroud, everybody. Well, I don't know if Shroud's been playing it, but everybody coming together, and playing a game with all these clouded up streamers, in one lobby, playing together. That really influenced a lot of people to buy it.
Yeah,
and I made the mistake of watching some compilations of their gameplay, and now it's all of that floods my recommended. The algorithm is thirsty.
You just gotta dodge YouTube's home recommendation page. It will screw you up bad. I now am forced to click on my subscriber tab and just look through my subscribers manually. It could be a lot because you subscribe to a lot of shit that is education based or whatever. So there's a lot of stuff that gets flooded in. But yeah, one video I watched for Among Us just to see how people are playing it, and I'm like, whoa, just overload of everyone I could think of just being playing it left and right. So that's what happened when PewDiePie played Minecraft. Minecraft's overall viewership boosted to the sky high. So it's that crazy influence from big time players coming in and playing those games definitely drives it back home. So yeah, like you said, just add new maps, add new content and skins, and you're good to go. And just bring something new to the table. And by speaking of bringing something new to the table, you might literally have to use your table for this one. Mario Kart. This was an announcement from last week's Nintendo showcase. They released Mario Kart in real life. It's pretty much you have a physical Mario Kart version of your own copy. It could be Luigi, it could be Mario, it could be anyone they have available at the time. And you make your own real life map using the surroundings that you have. You put these little pointers across your living room, across, maybe your yard, whatever, and you create your own little map, your own road to play Mario Kart on. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I wonder what type of technology they utilize for that. If it's Bluetooth, near field communication, or Wi-Fi perhaps.
Yeah.
Because they have to have a video feed go directly into your Nintendo Switch.
Yeah, so I think it's what they're doing is that they have a camera on the actual cart that you get. So let's say you have the Mario Kart version. So you just drive Mario around, and using the camera that's on Mario, it's slowly building out the map for you. So every single like pointer or like those banners that you drop off, it starts scanning those and starts building out the map like that. So
right.
it's
also
interesting.
augmented reality.
Yeah.
Because the camera projects 3D items into the track.
Yeah. So now you need a cart to see the 3D items in there. So it's pretty interesting. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of great for, let's say, families, people that want to come over, and if you want to do that, you come over and play games together, and this is pretty dope. But it's kind of opening a possibility. I'm thinking kind of like Pokemon Go, where you take augmented reality, which wasn't really used that much in Pokemon Go, to be honest. I didn't really use it. I kind of turned it off.
It's optional, yeah.
Yeah, but you can now create your own maps using your own living room, your own virtual space, using the camera. And I think we had this talk before, where it would be kind of cool if you could upload your map and actually make it into legit, fully playable maps for, say, Mario Kart 8 or another version of Mario Kart that might come out, or the same game itself. But you have that flexibility, like, hey, you have yourself a new custom map, and it's kind of like Mario Maker, but just for Mario Kart.
Right. I mean, the real game changer would be like, can this work outside? Because I don't know about you, but my living room ain't big enough to drive a cart around in circles in any sort of long course.
I think that would require, actually, it might work out. I'm not sure if it requires Wi-Fi connection, but if you just carry your Switch around and follow your car around, making the points around the block or something, that'd be kind of cool, and upload it. I mean, we're not saying that's the functionality of it, but it would be dope if Nintendo said, you know what, we could make this a new level and make people like get out and try new things. I know now it's kind of a weird time to do that, but it'd be good to like at least like, hey, by the way, I have a backyard, or hey, I have a lobby, or whatever, that you could record, make it into a map, and then upload it, and people could just have cool little tracks based off your locations. Now, obviously, I could see the little things that could pop up that could go really wrong with that. It's like,
a dog comes and snatches it up, or
like some footage, or like, yo, is that some personal stuff? Like, so obviously, do in discretion, but it would be dope that was that's an option to mix augmented reality and also online Mario Kart play. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, almost as cool as a 35-person battle royale in Super Mario Brothers.
Dude.
Yeah.
This is intense. I would never, if you were to tell me, hey, Mario Kart's gonna have a 35-player battle royale game, like any Mario Brothers game, I would have been like, you're joking. Nintendo will never do that. But
it's a really off the wall idea, I guess, built off of this success of Tetris on Switch.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't function like I wanted it to, where you all fight each other in a map, but but you do go platformer style and compete against other people, 35 other people, and you can get boosts that target the other players and mess up their game.
Yeah.
So much in the way that Tetris works.
It's pretty cool. I like that. It still has. It's interesting because it still brings in the old school Super Mario game and that vibe that people like about it, but introduced the whole battle royale aspect of it, like Tetris way, where you can still mess up other people and see who survives.
Right.
I mean,
make it the longest without dying.
Yeah, I know the kind of game you're expecting is kind of like Super Mario 64, where there's multiple people trying to accomplish like a map or something. Like who gets the first to get the star. So it'd be kind of like the first person to get the crown from Fall Guys at Fall Mountain, something like that.
I was kind of thinking like Super Smash Brothers, but
Oh,
but
that
like
would be
3D,
crazy.
like
3D?
that would be insane. 3D
Nah,
with a circle that shrinks and you get knocked out.
nah, that'd be too crazy, man. I don't think that would survive long. I mean, technically
Yeah,
speaking, that would be just like speedrunners. When you get to the last level, you get the little
yeah,
fire around you and circling smaller and smaller. Yeah, we just insane. Um,
yeah. I
I'm,
mean, that's kind of how they presented. I'll never forget the original Super Smash Brothers trailer. With me and you, the one for me, the only one.
let's not
and
sing
they
solo.
and they all they
Let's
all
get
turn around.
copyrighted from that song, bro.
Yeah, they all turn around and they just like start beating the crap out of each other. I mean, that's iconic. I think they could. I feel like there's so many opportunities for Super Smash Brothers that
Yeah.
they could make that better. But um, this will be cool. This will be. I mean, Tetris 99 being the indicator that like this kind of game could definitely work. And people have always loved Super Mario. You'll get my whole generation who grew up with it, and the generation before me that still
Mm.
has a love for it, and the generation after me, who can barely play it and is gonna lose first every time. But um, yeah, I think it's gonna be really popular. Maybe not as popular as some of the other games that we talked about, like Among Us and stuff like that, but I think it has potential to win over a lot of different demographics
Mm.
at the same time. What didn't win over a lot of demographics at the same time was Mulan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Transitions, baby. um, yeah, I still did not watch it. I think I kind of boycotted it, but but apparently even China doesn't appreciate Mulan and how they represented her.
Yeah.
Where she's basically a superhero, and it's not her intelligence or tactics that get her the W. It's her superpowers that are in her all along, and she just needs to embrace. So, I didn't even see the movie, and I know all these details.
Yeah, I've heard that it's kind of like, I haven't personally watched it yet, so I can't really criticize of how bad it is or how good it is. But I've heard it's kind of like the Game of Thrones action version of the movie, of the original animation movie, but without all the music and without all the comedy and without all the great characters.
They took out the songs. I mean, you didn't need to say no more to get me out of something. Then you take out the songs out of an original Disney movie. Like, no,
I think
no.
For that sense, they should have made it. If they were going to make it like that, they should not make it as a remake, but make it as a spin-off of it, and say, "Hey, Mulan's whatever arc. Here's like a spin-off, alternate take of what Mulan could have been as a live-action movie." If they worded it that way, great. But I think because of the success of, let's say, not everyone liked Aladdin, but the recent Aladdin remake did have pretty much the same vibe as
just a couple new songs.
Right. This is the animation, so people liked it. People actually enjoyed it. But you have like cases of like Lion King where some people love it and some people like, yo, what the hell happened? These lions don't look like lions at all, like the lions that we're used to in terms of the animation. You can't tell them apart. So it's kind of a mixed bag. Their main actress had some stuff in regards of politics in terms of supporting police and the brutality they're doing against, some of the people that are over there are trying to go keep in Hong Kong's liberation. So there's a lot of stuff, and I think overall it was not a good thing. But they did do. This is why I just learned recently. They did pretty good in the box office in terms of Tenet. So I didn't know Tenet came out. That's news to me.
You don't do a Christopher Nolan movie like that.
Yeah, I think whoever published it out and released it screwed the pooch really badly, man. I doubt anyone want to go out in the theaters right now. There's like comparing, Tenet did bad, then Mulan. Like, yeah, well, Mulan had PlayStation, like they had a PlayStation Plus, so many pluses. They had Disney Plus subscriptions, so people paid $30 for a movie from Mulan, It's
Oh,
not
that was new too.
that
That was
that
new just for Mulan.
yeah, and that's a great value, honestly speaking, because if you go to the movie theaters with someone else, that's already like $40 depending on where you go. In New York, it's like $20 per ticket, $15 per ticket. So $30 to keep it forever. It's not a bad deal. So they didn't do the same for Tenet. There's not really a streaming service promoting it like Netflix or anyone big saying, "Hey, by the way, here's Tenet. Pay $30, you get it full access. You don't even have to have a subscription to, Netflix or Disney Plus like how Mulan did it. Nothing like that. So it was just like, hey, because right now I just Googled it up and Google it up. Googling it up. So I looked it up and there's some places that are hosting Tenet to go ahead and check it out yourself. Like you just buy the ticket and go and see it. But I still think some people are not really comfortable going to the movie theaters to watch the movies, or they're not even knowing if movie theaters are even okay to go to yet. I guess there are. AMC looks like they have some locations open in New York anyway. So I didn't know that. So
yeah, no, I mean, it's tempting, but I can wait.
Yeah.
To see Tenet.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Christopher Nolan like everyone else.
Yeah.
But I can hold out on going to a theater for just a little while longer until I see how things are progressing. Because it is an enclosed space with other people very close to you, so it's a little tricky. I'd rather just stay home and keep streaming other stuff.
Right.
And
Yeah.
playing games.
Honestly, I think they should have just Warner Brothers should have just really took the chance and say, "Hey, we're gonna do a collaboration for the time being with Netflix, whoever that they're cool with, or HBO." I don't know who Warner Bros. Are exactly cool with in terms of streaming platforms because they have their own.
I think it's HBO Max.
Right.
I think Warner Brothers is most closely tied to HBO Max.
Is it that? Don't they have their own streaming service for like DC streaming?
Well,
stuff like
they
that?
do. Yeah, they have DC Universe as well.
Yeah.
But I think they're both connected. And actually, I think a lot of things on DC Universe went to HBO Max.
Gotcha. So I think HBO Max should have done a big push for Tenet the movie then. And they should have made a huge collaboration with them. Kept pushing and saying, "Hey, by the way, if you purchase it through HBO Max, discounted rate if you get it through subscription or just like get it and you have full access to it." But because of that, they kind of limited themselves from getting additional traffic and screwed themselves over pretty much. So I think it's a lot of people are saying, "Hey, the movie's performing just like a movie that came out from anyone else besides Christopher Nolan." So it's not looking good. I think they should have held it off, waited until they had a proper way to publish this out and plan it out, and then go forward with it. But right now,
I mean, I'm impressed. It even made $53.6 million at the box office.
But
its ratings are not what I would consider good for a Christopher Nolan film. It's floating around 72% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah, it's
70% Metacritic. Ugh.
Yeah, it's definitely, well, remember the budget is $205 million. So a lot of CGI was used in this effort, and their box office is only 53. So it's already a negative. It's really like you're losing a lot of money from this movie already as a investment. So I think I would have invested, if that was the case, if you already have that budget right there, you already spend this much money on this movie, easy $5 extra million. Whatever extra $1 million to partner up with people to publish this out digitally and remove the idea of like, hey, you have to go into the movie theaters to watch this. Because right now, it is lucky that it has 50 million box office so far, but that's because people really couldn't even go outside or go into the movie theaters or even know that it came out. I didn't know this came out, honestly.
I mean, but that just goes to show that, that many people really will ride for Christopher Nolan no matter what.
True.
I mean, Tenet is kind of like an original concept, right?
Yeah, it's an original movie. Yeah.
So there's no real backing for this aside from the actors and the director.
Mm-hmm.
And, Robert Pattinson, he might be getting some attention real soon with the Batman film. But you know, there's no major draws in the cast. David Washington, I'm sure he's great. I'm sure some of the other actors are great. Kenneth Branagh is in there. But there's no major draws. So it's probably Christopher Nolan that brought out that many people in this crazy time to the theater.
Yeah.
So
definitely, it's sad that happened, but I think this should be a clear sign for other movies that are possibly trying to come out. Not even if you have the Christopher Nolan name backing it, you get a lot of money, so you're better off finding ways to publish it out on a digital means, partnering with maybe Amazon, Netflix, Hulu, HBO, the works, the whole entire streaming platform there. So you might as well just find another way to also get value for it. That's your tip from the Slade Wade Podcast.
Yeah, financial movie making decision.
Now, for great success though, for distributing a show, even though this season has been kind of weird doing it on a weekly basis, The Boys season 2 has been slapping the slapster everywhere, man. My God, they are just shooting it up, slicing, dicing, not giving a damn. And I'm excited for mature movies again. It's a mature superhero cinema again. Like, wow. Deadpool had me hyped when it first came out, and Deadpool 2, whatever. The Boys, man. The Boys has been awesome. Awesome show.
Yeah. I mean, obviously we're not going to really spoil anything here, but I do strongly recommend the comics. But season 2 keeps even comic book readers guessing with like every episode, and I mean it's so popular that even my brother, who's not up on anything, was watching last week's episode like just now. So it's an incredibly like popular and like attention getting show. So I think this season is like, it's only going to elevate it. They might even do a third season.
For sure. Season. They should definitely do it.
I mean, the potential is unlimited.
They are doing it an interesting way, because I think season 1, if someone from Amazon could correct me, and then also offer a sponsorship, just saying.
Nice.
I think season 1 was just, they released it all at once, but season 2 they're doing it on a weekly basis, where it's kind of like a traditional TV show, where you have to wait every single Friday to get the new show. It's completely different from what we're used to, because we're used to like the Netflix way of just dropping everything all at once and then just watching it. So,
well, yeah, I think that's a formula that was adopted from the Mandalorian with their schedule. And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm not even sure if they've released every week. I think they skipped some weeks.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
But so the boys might too. But I'm just happy it's back out. I mean, we didn't even have to wait that long. Really, it was about a year since season 1 finished.
Yeah.
So I mean, good on them. They came right out. I heard that they had filmed the 2 seasons almost back to back.
Really?
Thank goodness. Yeah.
Wow. That's an actually great feat to do. Yeah.
Yeah. It was like, I think it was like maybe a couple months between the 2.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm excited to close it out. I don't know how many episodes are in this season, but I think currently we're on 6 or 7, maybe 8. So I'm hoping at least 12. Man, give me consistent.
You're asking for that anime longevity, brother. You got to watch out for that, man.
I want. I mean, yeah, it's hard. I mean, in one of the episodes, they had a dog that goes around humping stuff. Very difficult to have a dog in a film production.
Yeah.
So I could understand they might be technically limited with all the different things. And then of course they couldn't really do reshoots because of,
the situation,
the big C word.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that that this season does really well, and they want to put out a season 3 and explore more than just the main cast that they're exploring right now. The Boys universe is kind of a lot bigger than what they show on the TV show.
So I think what they're doing is pulling off a MCU in a way, and they're technically
cool.
I'm not. This is just me theorizing it. So, but it's possible because the fact that you told me that they're kind of leaving the comic book readers also second guessing, which is a big deal because that's like saying manga readers are not knowing what's going on in the anime. That's something big, and that's what's happened to a lot of the MCU movies where we know a lot of the general things that's going to happen because of the comics, but the movies are different. It is different outcomes. A lot of people were supposed to die, they didn't die in the MCU movies, so a lot of things could be switching up for the Boys as well because they have a potential of making this as a franchise, even though this is kind of like a parody, a sarcastic, very mature version of a parody of a superhero DC era, but it works really well. So
yeah, it's a deconstruction. Like, you have a one-to-one reference for Superman, Wonder Woman, and sort of Batman, but more on that later.
Yeah, that he kind of is a mix for me. He's like he's a mix of Black Panther and Batman, honestly.
Well, he's complex, and again, not spoiling anything, Black Noir is a silent, mysterious character in the show.
One of my favorites.
And his origins may not be the same as they were in the comics, but it's so fun to theorize what exactly he's going to turn out to be. There's also some theories on the new character, Stormfront, that I won't go into here because it could very well be spoilers.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Especially the most recent episodes, Stormfront is a character you didn't really expect to come out as. Like, you kind of like, okay, whatever. She's just doing her thing. But then it gets pretty interesting. So especially because it's still a weekly release, this last episode on episode 5 was like, okay, that was interesting. But also, she could be really a huge game changer in the show if she wanted to. Like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we're gonna say about that.
That's as much as like juiciness we could leave it to you because we don't want to spoil anything else.
Yeah, watch it.
Definitely
please.
Watch it. Yeah. Like a superhero show. It is. There's other TV shows that are kind of brewing up a little bit. There's the WandaVision show that hopefully we finally, for all this time we've been waiting. And honestly, I can't blame Disney with the whole situation going on. But we might finally get ourselves a Marvel show soon, hopefully.
I mean, I don't know what happened to Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but this will be the first MCU-related project since Infinity War, right? Endgame.
Yeah. Yes. Well, Spider-Man, but yes. Yeah, you're right.
Well, yeah, Spider-Man, but more so.
But full on, yes, you're right. Yeah, full on original. Yeah, it is going to be
continuation of the universe.
Right.
So it's very interesting that this is the first one to come out. I was honestly least hyped for this trailer because I know that there was a show X-Men related. Oh my goodness, it's gonna bug me. Where basically the whole thing was psychedelic, right? It was all in somebody's head, and that's the vibe that this show gives me. WandaVision kind of looks like it's Scarlet Witch's like fever dream, and she's going through like sitcoms from like different eras, and she's going through like these weird worlds that are all different and have the Vision in it, even though the Vision is dead and all of this stuff. So, that's another thing that people are theorizing, that the Vision either is kind of brought back through like Shuri copying Vision's mind and making it a new Vision, which I believe is unlikely, or Scarlet Witch making a deal with a witch or a devil to bring back Vision, and then she pays some sort of crazy price for making that deal. Or in the comics, she has reality bending powers that could allow her to create a parallel universe almost, and have Vision there. So you know, there's a lot of different things that could happen. It could be none of those things, or it could be all of them. So
it is pretty trippy because they now have looking at it, they pretty much have a baseline to tell whatever story they want, and make it as trippy, as awesome, as maybe even Black Mirror-ish, of like intertwining different types of, you know, stuff together.
That's good.
It's kind of, they could have a huge hit with this one, especially the fact that, like you mentioned, like it's already going through different, like there's a possibility of her making a deal with an outside force, or her her powers going out of control and just being a really crazy stage of her reacting to Vision's death. And you know, we didn't get to see that in the movie, but we get to see that afterwards. It's pretty interesting.
It's actually kind of new in the way that you don't get to see a hero go through dealing with a death for too long in movies, because the plot has to keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Right. When Quicksilver died, you know, people kind of put their heads down for a second and, you know, all right, let's move on. You know, you know, when Iron Man dies, right? Ooh, big spoiler. You know, we live in that moment. They have a whole funeral. That's probably the most attention that a character death has gotten on screen.
By the way, sorry now, if we re-spoiled it for you. You had literally a long ass time to watch that movie. So
I don't even care anymore.
All right, so please, for the love of God, if this is a goddamn Black Widow movie coming out in November, you should have been watched Endgame already. What's wrong with you?
If you don't know that Iron Man died, first of all, the trailers for
Spider-Man, yeah, dude, if you saw Spider-Man trailers, just the trailers alone was spoiler enough. So you can't come at us for that one.
Yeah, that's like never, like if you're a fan of Marvel at all, you know, like come on.
You gotta have that one person saying, "Well, I technically didn't watch it yet," you know.
Yeah, I was waiting for the special edition DVD box set.
The Blu-ray copy, 3, you know, it has a steel case covering, you know.
Yeah.
Which, technically speaking, you would have brought yourself. So.
Yeah, well, imagine going physically out to a store and buying a box set. No.
Come on, bro. You would have gone to Amazon. Let's be honest here. By the way, I'm not sure if Black Widow is going to be released the same way as Mulan. I hope it does. So then I will actually buy it and put it in Disney Plus. I think I would. I'll split that with you.
Yeah, I really don't know, and it honestly makes me kind of sad because it's an event. It's an event to go out and see these films. You know.
Yeah.
You know, we used to.
That's true.
We used to get together and set up.
God, movies, man. Yeah.
Set up movie weekends. You know, oh yeah, hey, we're going Thursday night. We're going Friday night.
Yeah.
You know, 7:00. Meet at this location. Blah blah blah. Like it used to be a whole thing, and then we'd come out of the movie and we're like, "Yo, that was awesome. You remember that part?"
Yeah.
You know, so it will be a little bit disappointing to see that experience could be changed for a while. And there doesn't seem to be a clear end in sight to this world that we're now living in. So we have to learn how to kind of make do.
Well, we could do movie night at someone's place, get a bunch of popcorn, and charge people $50 for them, so they get the real life experience of it.
I mean, yeah. Hey, there's that.
There's that, right? Get some 6-packs, you know. Get some food, order some pizza in, and just like, all right, we're watching, you guys. Sit back, relax.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I need to get a hold of somebody's HBO Max account because I watched episode 1 of Lovecraft Country and I loved it.
Yeah, dude.
And I had a trial for HBO Max, but I didn't realize that it was coming out weekly too. So I missed
Oh.
out. I missed out. I need to create another account and don't don't do what I do. But I need to get on that again. Now, yeah, there's not too much I could say about Lovecraft Country other than watch it, stream it, do everything. But Mandalorian, I could say some things about
Mandalorian.
They came out with the season 2 trailer. I didn't really see that much interesting information from it. It was kind of more like a teaser, like, oh yeah, you still got Baby Yoda. Oh yeah, they're bringing back this character. Oh, there's some new characters. But yeah, supposedly it's going to be interweaving the Jedi into the story now and bringing Baby Yoda back to the Jedi, supposedly, and then maybe not doing that because the Jedi aren't always good guys. So
yeah,
so yeah, there's a very interesting story to come about from that. But yeah, I mean, all I can say really is super excited for it, and I'm hoping that it's as successful as season 1 was, because sequelitis is a real thing.
Oh my god!
You could easily fumble a second season of anything.
Yeah, like true detective, man.
For sure.
I'm really excited for it. I'm kind of like not trying to make myself too hyped up because it's coming out soon, this October 30th. So I'm hyped for it, but then I just gotta set my expectations like a little bit more down. I don't want to overhype it. I don't want to make myself feel like, oh shit, it's gonna be more intense, more awesome fights, more like good story building. But the one great thing, like looking at the behind the scenes from Mandalorian, is they make everything all like in one place. So you know how CGI movies, they have, they're behind a green screen, whatever.
Yep.
They don't do a green screen actually. They do is that they project the world around them. So you have a character in the middle of the scene, they have a camera right in front of his face, and they have these displays like in a dome around the person, and they control the actual place around them, like displaying it. It's actually like kind of like an old way of filming, but they're using such good LEDs, good like quality screens that project the image that they want or the video that they want. So now it's kind of like a mix of video game projection and old school filming. So it's kind of cool because you're walking around, they're on their racers, and they're on their ship and whatnot, and they're all in the same place. It never really changes. They don't really have to change the set much. They just have to bring in like props here and there, but it's awesome. It's an awesome way of doing it. So I think that's why they're able to take out season 2 so quickly, because it came out like last year, right?
Yeah. Like towards the end of last year.
Yeah,
too.
so just the fact that even during this pandemic, they're able to whip out season 2, which there's a lot of shows that came out within the year, and there's not a sight and scene in terms of having another season yet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty impressive. So I can't wait to see what they able to pull out, especially during these times. So I'm hyped for that for sure.
Yeah. Should be amazing. All right, we still have a ton of topics to get through. So let's
this is gonna be a meaty podcast, guys. So our last podcast was mostly PlayStation stuff. This one we're gonna give you all the works. So enjoy
everything that we're into.
Yeah.
So in the world of anime, Crunchyroll, I just happened to be browsing around today, and I saw that the fall 2020 schedule is somewhat out.
Oh, nice.
And we have some announcement for anime coming out this season. So there's a lot of cool stuff that I've heard that was hyped up. Burn the Witch is one of the things that
Burn the Witch.
Yeah, Burn the Witch was apparently from Tite Kubo, the original mangaka for Bleach.
So
it could be kind of like Bleach. I see a cool image of like a woman riding a dragon. So
wait,
that's cool.
I don't know why I thought for a second, what's that movie called? Something in Neverland, something like that.
The Promised Neverland.
Promised Neverland, yeah. I don't know why I thought about
that. Yeah, no, but that's gonna be really cool. I just happened to glance at that too. Attack on Titan, final season is coming out. That's going to be huge. I couldn't handle waiting. So
such a tease.
I know manga spoilers, so I'm not going to say anything. But but it will be good.
I hate your kind.
You should. Haikyuu, another very popular series. I think
Haikyuu isn't that what you call it? What's that series about? The volleyball one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I watched Kokoro no Basket, which is about basketball, and I really enjoyed that. So I think a volleyball series would probably grab me the same kind of way. I've been told many times that I need to watch it.
There's a lot of interesting shows here that, for some reason, off the cuff, like just looking at the first one, Jujutsu Kaisen, it kind of, I don't know why that character right there looks like Kakashi to me, but
because it's got a band over his face.
Yeah, and then there's a guy with a freaking Tadori or a Rasengan. Cover right there. So I'm like, okay, some Naruto influence right there.
Oh yeah, I mean, how could you not be influenced by Naruto? It's actually probably like the new Dragon Ball Z in terms of influence.
Yeah,
you know, everybody's read it if you're into manga at all. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Is coming back with the third season.
If you want to continue your fetish or whatever, your desires to see some good anime, I guess. Just like that workout anime with the girls and whatnot. I haven't watched that anime, by the way. I know that was a huge thing.
Oh, Keijo? You talking about Keijo?
Is it Keijo? I think it might be. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's there's another show. I was just scrolling around. And I just saw this. Iwakaru. Yeah, Iwakaru, man. Sports climbing girls.
Yo, honestly, I'll check it out.
It's like, yo, we're gonna put these intense sports activities in place. Beautiful hentai looking girls and definitely good sales.
Yeah, no cap. Like
cap, man. They're just gonna go for it, man. They're like, well, they brought out a good motivational way of making people work out in the anime.
Oh,
so now
there's a Inuyasha sequel series called Yashahime, Princess Half Demon, coming out. It's the last thing that has a it's the last thing that has a thumbnail on the page. As of now, there's a lot more series to come on the list, but
whoa,
but yeah, that's going to be interesting.
Wow, they're continuing that. That's something. That's big.
Yeah, Inuyasha had a ton of fans.
I think they ruined it. One thing, they should have pulled off a Naruto Boruto like title thing here. They missed it. They should have said Inuyasha Yashimi Princess Half Demon arc, whatever, and just named it that.
I mean,
because then you have the big SEO of Inuyasha there. People are like, what? Inuyasha back? What the hell? You gotta.
I'm actually. Oh no! You know what? I was gonna say something that's not true at all.
What?
The writer for Rurouni Kenshin was in hot water, and I think it might have involved the creator of Inuyasha, so they might not want to associate the two.
Oh, so interesting. Even though the character's in there, literally in the poster.
I'm not sure. I might just be totally like. I know that the writer for Rurouni Kenshin was in some hot water.
Gotcha.
And even all the mangaka, like a lot of the mangaka are friends. Even people that were associating with him took some flack for associating with him.
Gotcha.
but I think that's since recovered. And honestly, I mean, I'm not here for it because I think it was some child stuff. So,
ooh, dudes, what's with these people going to that? My God, bro.
yeah,
you have all this hentai. You make all these animes, bro. Stick to that, man. They already make these hentais looking mad weird.
yeah.
So don't do.
And he didn't even
stuff.
deny it.
God,
yeah,
man.
it's
People.
Continuing stuff. You have the usual suspects.
Yeah.
Black Clover, Boruto, Case Closed, Digimon, which I never got back into watching.
Yeah. So it's a brand new thing, right? Or is it just the same? Or is it something like the spin-off or something like that?
It's the original Digidestined. It's the original cast, but they changed some of the story elements, so it's like a re-release of the original, which honestly I think is a good idea.
That's
to re-release it with some new adventures.
I want to see War Greymon.
Yeah,
War Greymon.
And the and Patamons of all form, that angel.
Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Who was it? My friend told me, he was like, "Yo, Digimon was created by Jamaicans."
Was it?
No, it wasn't, dude. It was like adding mon to at the end of everything.
Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Fire Force season 2.
Fire Force, man. It's the same. Fire Force is from the same folks of what's that great Skull? Was it Skull something? Not Skull. You know what I'm talking
about. Are you talking about Soul Eater?
Soul Eater, yes. Same creators from Soul Eater, I believe. They actually have references to Soul Eater in the show.
That makes sense. They do a similar like slamming door skull thing.
Yeah.
Between like the intro and the show, so makes sense. I'm finishing up season 1, and it gets better.
Yeah, I haven't finished it yet. I watched a good amount of it, and I'm still bashing it for its animation, which I will say the same for Black Clover. Both have great stories, or at least premise of the stories, but animation's ruining it for me. Like, I guess.
Well, I understand your point more so with Fire Force.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's understandable because Fire Force will literally just keep you on one frame for about a minute or two. Yeah. And you're just like, I know that you're doing this for dramatic effect, but also trying to save money. So I'm not appreciating it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And all the other stuff, One Piece, Shadowverse. Yeah, I'm not as interested in
Shadowverse.
Major season 2 or even Good Pretty Cure. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff continuing. Not as heavy as of an anime season, at least on Crunchyroll, as normal for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But a pretty good meaty chunk for me to chew on, because I mean I don't have to watch every single anime. I just want to watch the ones that I'm kind of interested in.
Right.
Like the Burn the Witch. I'll have to look into because everybody loves Bleach. Bleach might get a sequel series, I hear, soon.
Shadowverse looks like the spiritual version of Yu-Gi-Oh. Either that or it's a bootleg version of it. Oh, it's based off a smartphone game called Shadowverse. I didn't know that.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. Wow. That's cool.
Yeah. There's probably a lot more anime coming out this season, but this is just what Crunchyroll had.
For Boruto, Naruto, Next Generation's 5,000. I'm wondering if there's some people that could give us some guides in terms of how to avoid the massive amount of fillers in that goddamn shows, because I heard that the manga gets goddamn good. It gets to the good parts, and I don't know if I should just like avoid everything and just start right now.
I would look for a filler chart and be like, all right, what's the current filler that's out, and skip those episodes.
Yeah, because
and I'm sure you'll save yourself like 100 episodes worth.
Because
watching already.
there's some even non-filler episodes that are like pretty trash, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
well, I know you defeat this guy with 1,000
Well,
Sharingans, but it was not
even
really
in
that
the
good.
manga, like the amount of times that Naruto and Sasuke get slapped and Boruto ends up helping is upsetting. So, um,
Damn, that's
it's it's kind of a little frustrating. Uh, but who knows? Maybe one day people will stop hating Boruto.
yeah. I think honestly, if I were to do it again, I would say, hey, we're starting this from a clean slate in terms of we're taking all the good episodes and making it more polished and just release it like that, and then they have more time to work on the new content. Like kind of do what the movies do, where they
Oh,
re-release the same content but stretch it out in episodes like that. Just do it again for the episodes. Just like do a Brotherhood, like
yeah,
and just do it justice because a lot of people got turned off by it. A lot of people got turned off by it. I got turned off
yeah.
by it, and I'm
I
a huge
watched like
Naruto fan.
I
Like so,
watched like the first 30 episodes, and honestly, um,
I watched like
it had me at times. There was a
like
point where Konohamaru did some crazy Rasengan and sent somebody flying,
oh yeah yeah
but
yeah,
but
but yeah it's
but for the most part, you don't get a lot of that.
yeah. I mean I was into like the 100 part I believe in the episodes. I think I was high up there,
Mm.
and I was pissed. I was like, dude, I don't know why. Maybe it's because watching it back in the day, Naruto felt more faster, or maybe just more stuff happened, or
Mm.
because of life. But it felt like it was just dragging on Boruto Naruto. It just felt like there's some stuff like, okay, here
Boruto
we go.
Naruto, last generations, the
It
first of the last of the second.
yeah. It was too long, and I was just like, can we get to the action? Like I didn't want a fully action scene movie, but or not movie, but anime. But I'm like, there's a lot of stuff that there's good materials, but I guess it was just like they were trying to catch up to it. Either that or the
Yeah,
manga wasn't really fully fleshed out during the time that I was watching it. But I hear good things now. Like people are saying, "Yo, the manga slaps now." So,
yo,
um,
you know what manga is really slapping right now?
which one?
Freaking My Hero Academia. I've
Stop!
I follow too many anime reviewers.
Stop!
I keep seeing thumbnails. I'm sorry.
Stop!
It looks really good. I'm 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 very sad that I don't see anything about a new season of My Hero anytime soon.
Dude, yes. What is going on with
So
that?
I
That is
don't know.
so bad. Like I understand everyone is trying to deal with the situation as it is. But
Mm-hmm.
I feel like anime shouldn't be as. I mean, I guess because everyone's so used to being in the offices and doing that, being right next to each other. But
Mm-hmm.
everyone should have webcams by now. Everyone should have all that. And if you don't, you're a big company that's willing to invest money on average video games. So like you could give your staff some webcams, some proper computing, and let them do the anime properly and get paid and give them a salary during this crazy times. Like keep
I,
the ball rolling. Like don't don't let it die.
I,
Don't fizzle out. Come
I mean,
on,
if One Piece can come back in full force, and they were clearly affected,
bro,
um, then
bro.
yeah,
They're never gonna die. I feel like One Piece will still be going, and I'll have grandkids. Back in my day, this episode, I saw this in episode 900. I know right now it's episode 5,000, but you gotta watch it from episode 900. It's really good right there. Like
yeah.
it's gonna get to that point. I mean, I props to it. The fact that it's still making episodes and still doing a good job, it makes me want to watch One Piece fully.
Yeah,
It makes me want to watch it fully.
I mean, yeah, you again use a guide maybe, to
Right.
like and watch some movies,
Some recaps.
some full on like things that bring you through seasons. Because I'm not gonna tell anybody to sit and watch 1,000 episodes.
No, I can't do it. I
I'm not
can't
gonna
do
do
it.
that.
It's just gonna be too
But
much.
yeah,
I'll probably see some movies.
the
Yeah,
movies can get you through, and you don't. There's some whole arcs that you probably don't need to really get that deep into.
gotcha.
Speaking of movies, I do recommend movie 2 for My Hero Academia. I believe it's called Twin Hero. No, Heroes Rising. Um, that was really good. I can't recommend it enough. it shows some current anime stuff, like stuff that happened at the end
When did that
of
come
the
out?
season. It came out like months ago, like at least a couple months ago. Yeah,
It was
I
right.
have the trailer there. What's the date on the
It's
trailer?
in February 18th, so right before the
Yeah.
whole shit happened. Yeah. Damn.
Yeah. So I mean that's interesting. They show no spoilers here, but they show Endeavor and how he looks. So it was very
laugh.
interesting.
You're like, oh yeah, Endeavor, my sugar daddy.
If you know, you know.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, you know.
But, yeah.
I personally haven't watched it yet, so I'm definitely gonna watch it soon. Probably this weekend because it's been.
I had to go on a hunt to find it for free. So
we don't endorse any free things here. We all this is free, quote unquote. We pay for it. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, no, it's it's gettable, it's findable.
It's fine.
Unlike my anime recommendation for this week, Vinland Saga, which you have to get on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, if you haven't got Amazon Prime to watch The Boys yet or any of the good shows that's on there, I have to start exploring Amazon Prime. There probably is like other hidden gems in there. Vinland Saga, my God, great show, fantastic story,
and probably a season 2 coming.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
2021. By the end of 2021, please.
I think by 2021, I think we should all be somewhat back to normal. Hopefully.
Yeah. And then my other recommendation is Hitman Reborn. Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
Oh really?
It's a good show. I don't think it's ever going to come back. I don't think it was popular enough, but it's like a standard shonen. It's kind of, I'll give you a quick like summary. It's basically about a mafia baby that goes back in time to train a 15-year-old to use superhuman powers to make his mob family the strongest mob family in the world. So if that doesn't grab you, I don't know what will.
What kind of Inception, Time Wizard, magic crap? What?
Yeah, basically this wimpy kid gets
this is like Endgame right here.
But dude, by the end of the series, dude is badass, like flying around, shooting lasers and stuff.
My man, he got support from some badass dude from the future, man. He should be the best.
Yeah, the number one mob boss.
Very
cool.
I personally haven't watched. I actually played a video game first before even watching the show. That's kind of surprising to me.
Yeah, because they might do an HD remake one day. They might just like do. Oh, if they could skip the first like 22 episodes of filler, it would be so much better. But season 2, anybody who's watched it will tell you is amazing, and then it kind of keeps ramping up from there. So strong anime.
I mean, it lasted a pretty long time too. 8 years in a run. Wow, that's still good. I think it kind of missed the whole anime hype train. That's why. We kind of the whole anime hype train kind of started around after 2010. Like right in like 13, 14. That's when a lot of people will start coming out as anime fans and start like packing up anime cons that were mostly empty to now packed. So it kind of missed that range right there. Because a lot of shows that we liked, that we grew up on, were like pretty much like a lot of people don't know about Hunter x Hunter, surprisingly, or Brotherhood. Like I was surprised. Like, wait, you never seen this show? Like, no, I watched this new current show. I'm like, oh, you need to get your virginity popped by watching this Hunter x Hunter. The fuck are you doing? Watching this crappy Fire Force.
I would love to write like a starter pack for like anime people. Like, hey, like if you think you might be into anime, here's a pack. What type of things do you like? Oh, you're into like a little bit more macabre stuff. All right, we'll give you Death Note and little bit of a little bit of Soul Eater, right? We'll give you some more stuff like that. Oh, you're into fantasy type things? Oh, we'll give you a little bit of Full Metal Alchemist. You know, we'll give you a little bit of Fairy Tale. If you're into that kind of trash. So, yeah, no, I would love to like open up in the future. Oh my God, imagine a service where you get anime recommendations from like a supposed professional, kind of like my anime list.
We might have that in the works, you know, maybe some down the line. We were not saying anything, but that's a little preview.
Yeah, hey. It is now intellectual property of this podcast.
Oh man.
We said it first. Date and time. It is now September 24th at 10:44 p.m.
Like, damn, these guys are starting these podcasts really late. Like, yeah, man. This is how we roll here, man. Pretty late. And we're not doing any damages to this property. We got to make sure that we do justice. Not unlike Newegg. Switching up to that transition, baby, to tech.
Got it. You got it.
So Newegg has up a lot, man. They screwed up. So if you didn't know, this actually relates to gaming too. So that's a twofer. The new graphics cards from Nvidia has been announced some time ago. Last week, they had the pre-orders for the 3080s that were awesome value for the price because of what they did, and they're good to go. But the pre-orders were trash. And by trash, I mean pretty much people with bots and people that had pretty much software that did everything for you got all the graphics cards. There was a lot of few people that were manually able to get graphics cards, and not a lot of people that were really waiting there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Once it turned 9 o'clock, it was there for 1 second, and then it was hijacked from your card.
I've never heard of a graphics card with like sneakerhead hype. Like,
you know, it's rare, but it happens. It's rare, but that's the thing. It only happens like every single couple of years. You know, it's kind of like PlayStation and Xbox. When they come out with the new consoles, you're like, holy shit, I can't even get myself a PS4. I can't get myself an Xbox. It's already sold out. But then, right, you know, you wait a couple months, a couple weeks, they restock, and then you're able to get one, right? So,
I mean, yeah, I guess in a way, it's kind of like a new generation for a computer.
Yeah,
so
it is.
You're stepping up to the new level. I mean, if I could play that new sexy ass Minecraft, I would get on it.
This guy watches Minecraft porn, by the way.
Not real Minecraft.
Yeah, this is the new generation. The 2000 series from Nvidia came out like in 2018, I believe. So this has been 2 years. It kind of comes out every 2 years or every year, depending on the cycle. But sold out everywhere. Now the big thing is, or one of the big things, this just came out recently. So some of the 3080s has been shipping out from last week came in without any boxes. So a lot of people are getting their 3080s without any manufacturer boxes, and they're all bent, they're all damaged. It's like, imagine getting your iPhone or getting your Android Galaxy 10 Pixel phone, whatever, and without the manufacturer box. They just took the phone, threw it in a cardboard box, no cables or anything maybe, and just put some bubble wraps and called it a day. So it's pretty bad. It's like getting your laptop without a freaking manufacturer, no padding at all. So
right, and I imagine the delivery people are just throwing these boxes nowadays because they are overworked and underpaid. So, what a rough time.
So what might be happening is that they have these, you know, you have the manufacturer ones. You get the ones from the boxes as already, you know, in its current packaging, like any product that you get. But with graphics cards, they do have a lot of extra graphic cards that they have laying around to make these machines, like pre-built computers that you buy anywhere. Like, oh, yo, get this machine that has the new specs here and there from i7, 32 gigs, and whatever graphics cards. They have those computers laying around because they build it in the shop and then they sell it forward. So it looks like it's possible that instead of, because they ran out of those original 3080s, they ran out of the regular packaging. They're like, you know what? We don't have any more 3080s. Let's just grab the ones that we're going to sell for our computers that we're going to build and just throw it in the box. Call it a day. So a lot of people have been getting 3080s bent up, damaged, like just thrown in a plastic bag, and that's it. So it's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I feel bad.
And then you had the 3090s too. Right?
Oh yeah, the 3090s again announced. It was supposed to release this morning. I was there 9 o'clock in the morning, ready up for this guy. I couldn't get it. Right. These bots, they're savages, man. I couldn't get it, and pretty pricey. And honestly, because of the launch, the pre-orders were
$1,400.
$1,400, yeah. So that's the thing. Everyone thought because the 3090, yeah, exactly. So 3080, what they set, what the benchmarks and a lot of people are getting from the 3080s is that it could do 4K with RTX, which is ray tracing, is like special lighting for simple terms, and good 60 frames per second, ultra, no stress. You're good. You're set. It outperforms the graphic card that was before generation that used to cost $1,200. So people thought, wow, this is great. A graphics card that cost $700 performs better than a graphics card that was sold for $1,300 or $1,200 before. Great. So here comes a $1,400, $1,500 graphics card that's supposed to be the bigger, badder one that says, hey, yeah, it could do 8K 60 and ultra. Well, it costs more, but yet it doesn't perform that much better in 4K. So a lot of people are let down because it's only 10 to 15% better in performance. So people are saying, wait, so what's the point of paying almost double the price of the existing, like of a 3080, and losing out a lot of money just for like 10% of performance? It doesn't make any sense. So a lot of people, what the 3090, what I see it, what it's meant for, it's more meant for video editors, people that are doing 8K editing. They're doing some crazy manipulation of graphics, and they need that RAM boost that's in the 3090. But it's expensive. It's $1,500. That's the same price as a lot of people's computers right now with a 3080. So, not worth it. So I think that's going to be a crappy part right there. That's going to happen, and they have to take ownership to all the pre-order hassle that's going on. And speaking of ownerships and crappy situations, TikTok is now technically partially owned by Oracle, and I believe also Walmart. I have to double check on that.
But Walmart had some stake in the deal. Yeah.
So with that double combo right there, it doesn't look like they're getting full-on access to the company. It's more like they're getting stock of the global version of TikTok. So TikTok Global is going to be the new one that's being distributed to U.S. and all the other ones are not China-based. But the code is possibly going to be the same. All the infrastructure is going to possibly be the same. So there's not really a security issue that, like what Trump was saying, and he had a good reason. Hey, we should ban this because it is taking our data and using it for ill-intentional reasons, or we don't know what they're using our data for. So let's get that fixed.
Right.
So that's a valid reason, no matter where side of the politician party you're coming from. My thing is that the solution doesn't fix anything. Like, this is still the same issue where it's still going to be, hey, yeah, you get this thing in here, but you don't get any, there's no control. The data is still going to be the same. They can still manipulate. You don't know how the code looks like. So it's pretty schemish. It's pretty just like for fluff now at this point. It's not really for actual security for the United States, American citizens, or anyone in general that's worried about data security. So
I mean, I don't think it was. Actually, it's hard to say. I mean, you never know what's going on behind the scenes with these companies.
Right.
But it was crazy that a president was going to shut down a company pretty much in the United States just because it could have negative political implications and security implications. I mean, I can understand people in the government not being allowed to use it.
Yeah.
But when you tell the entire American public that you're shutting down this thing, it was pretty crazy. I mean, and it seemed like it was going to happen, but at the last minute, Trump just vetoed his own order and was like, "Yeah, you know what, Oracle and Walmart, you're all right. Go for it." So thank goodness, because I'm not a big TikTok person, but I think it sets a bad precedent if a business just gets bullied out by politics, So I'm glad that this went through, at least for now. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, because we still don't know the finer details of this. This is more initially based off what happened during the week. There might be more information. There might be more like data and tech that comes through, but this is the same company. So ByteDance has been through this before. They owned, I believe, Grindr, which is the.
Yeah, they did shut that down, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, which was a Tinder basically for homosexual men, I believe. I don't know if it was also for homosexual women. But
I'm not sure. I'm also I'm not sure if it was from the same company as ByteDance, but I think it was definitely what happened with Grindr was the same thing that was happening now. Is that they were forcing them to like, hey, by the way, you're using a Chinese company's infrastructure. We don't know what's going on there. There's no transparency on it. You had to split it up, and that's what they did. Yeah. Now I don't know what happened in terms of if that actually you could see all the data and all the code and see what they're actually doing with it. But it doesn't look like, based on what we know now, it might have been changed. There might have been some new updates in terms of transparency, but we don't know if Oracle and Walmart will be able to see what's going on in the code and see what's going on with the server and all the data infrastructure of TikTok, and seeing how because honestly, this is actually it's important in a way that, hey, it's kind of messed up. Hey, this government has all the information of your high school kids, of all these young kids, all these teens, all these adults that are just using it every single day. So I could see why people are trying to push for, like, say, Triller, and that's why Charlie D'Amelio went to Triller, man. So
yeah, I mean it's interesting because that shows again the power of a creator influencer. It could push a lot of people to Triller. I mean, Triller was already getting pretty big, but the biggest TikTok star, arguably maybe one of the biggest influencers in the world, joined the competitor. But I think both TikTok and Triller will probably have a bit longer of a lifespan right now. I mean, remember, it wasn't that long ago that Facebook was having similar kind of questions about data access and data security, but that's an American company, so the story, the dialogue was a little bit different, and I didn't hear Trump coming down on Facebook that hard.
Yeah, but, I think the major thing is that with a company like Triller, what that brings into the table is that now you have the possibility to move everything to the U.S. That's gonna be the big push, and they already have, Charlie. They have like other TikTokers here and there, and the biggest thing I think they could definitely win a lot of influencers from TikTok is if they had a paid platform, like a way that they could pay the influencers to get money from visitors or just from ads or whatever. Right now, from what I understand is that there's not a lot of information or a lot of ways to get money from TikTok. So you're kind of asked out. So
right. I mean, you could score a brand deal, but yeah, I mean, it's not like YouTube, I guess, where
right.
or Twitch, where you can get money either directly from your fans or you can get automatic kind of sponsorships with ads on YouTube and stuff like that.
Right.
Which actually I saw an article about Twitch starting to put advertisements on people's Twitch channels, which is something that's incredibly unpopular.
Advertisements on Twitch channels?
Yeah, like I don't think it's happened yet, but there was talks of putting advertisements in streams just to make more revenue for Twitch.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
So yeah, it's pretty bad. Everybody was immediately against it. So I'll have to wait and see if that actually comes through. Maybe we'll have more on that next week.
Yeah, definitely. We'll let you guys know. Well, from all the crazy things that's happening around the world, man, you just needed like we talked about this company so many times already in this podcast, but this is kind of like last minute. We just learned about this today. Instead of scrolling through your phone to see the latest influencers right now, what happens if you could control a security camera that could fly around your house and let you know what's going on? And if you want to have that ability, well, Amazon has a new Echo Show 10. Now, we're not sponsored from Amazon. This is something just interesting to us because it's just crazy. So you have the new Echo Show 10, which is a new kind of smart speaker, and then you have their new Amazon also owns Ring. So Ring has a always-on home cam. So these two products were announced today. The drone is the always home cam, which is it'll just be in like a little speaker-looking box, and when, let's say, something happens, maybe someone opens the door, maybe there's like a trigger alert, the camera automatically turns on, starts flying up as like a little drone, and goes towards the location of where the sensor was tripped or activated. So instead of having multiple cameras around the house, you could have, or your facility or your office, whatever, you could technically have one. And you just need, instead of having a lot of cameras, you just have a lot of sensors. So you could kind of do that now. Now it's interesting because, Amazon's been pushing this like whole, like, hey, let's have drones that deliver things to your house, whatever. I don't think we haven't experienced that yet in New York City. Maybe in upstate New York or somewhere else that's been happening, but over here in New York City, I don't think drones delivering any packages will work here. like especially if you live in a building.
There goes another drone flying by the house. Yo, get that!
Get that thing! Yo!
That's $300 on the market right now.
Either you got people coming out with guns more often, or you got people bringing back the hugest easy way to use slingshots now. Slingshots will go off the market. Like, yo, just slingshot that shit, bro.
Yo, get the paintball gun real quick.
Yo, get the paintball gun, yo, right? EPM gun, EPM glass that shit, bro. The EPM gun.
Oh, that would be cool.
Drops to the ground, is done. Just get the package. And now with
although they would probably have a GPS signal.
Of course, but if
have to shut down.
If you EPM blast that drone, it's gonna crash down. It's over.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah.
GPS
well, it better fry the GPS. Then Amazon's gonna be.
Well, I bet Amazon's gonna have the last. It's gonna have the last live location that shit is gonna be flying at. So it's gonna be like, okay, it went down over here, but now they're like, great. Now we have freaking guys with EPM guns blasting our packages. Especially if they see like, yo, they just see a package like, yo, is that a box? Yo, that shit has Nike stamping on it. Yo, blast that shit up the sky. And because I've been buying products here and there and whatnot, and I'm about to start reviewing stuff. Side plug. A lot of these packages, man, they come with the manufacturer's stuff right in. Like, it's inviting people to steal it. I don't care about your branding on my goddamn box. Why do I have Nike tape on my box so then anyone that passes by my door and says, "Yo, Nike, this could be some new pair of Jordans right here, or this could be like the new freaking wave, some new dunks or whatever. Snatch.
Yeah.
Now they stole some pair of sneakers that could have been worth like $500, but you know what? Can't do anything about it, and you can't get another one because what? It's like the hype beast stock market right now going on. People just like buy, resell, runs out of stock, you're screwed over. So yeah, I think Amazon. We kind of went in a side tangent on that one, but I think Amazon, even though they're pushing out this cool home cam thing, it's pretty interesting. But I do see a lot of people having issues with it. Like it could. I bet they made it smart enough to avoid fans. I bet it made it smart enough to like go under or fly maybe up a stairs. Who knows? It does. But my thing is that what happens if you need, like, it's definitely a specific user. It's not for a person that needs constant surveillance, that needs to know even what's going on when there's not a sensor triggered, like say what's happening outside, or maybe what's going on outside the front porch. You have a dedicated cameras for that. This is more like, it makes more sense for like maybe kids. If you have kids around, if you have stuff, items here and there, you could summon your floating drone camera and move around. It's kind of creepy too, but you can move around the house. Like, oh, there's where's my dog's at. You know, there's my dog, or there's my cat fucking over the freaking couch again, or whatever. You know what's going on. You could fly around and do that. But it's kind of low-key creepy. I personally much rather prefer stationary cameras with like rotating heads, so I could just manually drag it around and just have them all over the place, than having a camera that's flying around that could easily probably just get swatted away. You know, if a villains, My Hero Academia is still in my head. If a criminal or robber is coming into your house and they really already took the effort to bust through your house, they see a floating camera that's coming towards them, they're probably going to swing the shit out of it and destroy it. They're not going to give a shit.
That would be a lot of fun. You know, hey.
Like, unless
let me get my Louisiana Slugger and bust this thing.
This thing up. Yeah, they're not going to give a damn.
More incentive. And then you'd be like, oh, these people have money because they got this new
right. They'd be like automatically like, oh, this guy's future. You know, they just steal everything they got, man. They don't care. And
I have a rule of thumb with these things. And this is kind of the opposite of what your rule of thumb would be, but I generally don't want to get the first version of anything.
Yeah.
And put that to mainstream use, because there will be bugs. I remember the Echo when it first came out had bugs. The Google Home had bugs.
Yeah.
You know,
you never want to be on the bleeding edge. That's why I learned. Like, I appreciate, let's say, the new Galaxy phone, the new first foldable phone, whatever. But it's not going to be good. It's going to be like a prototype. It's going to be kind of like a beta product. So the first one of this, just wait for the second iteration. Make sure you get all the people that sacrifice their privacy and their living room and whatever, their dining room, get it all damaged up and messed up. And then when the second version comes up, the new Always Home Cam 2 from Ring, an Amazon company, comes out and just says, hey, by the way, you know, we have these awesome features here, and it's great. Enjoy it. I think.
I mean, I think that it's okay to go for the Echo 10, the Echo Show 10, because clearly they just keep iterating and making it better. But yeah, the Ring Cam, let that go through a little bit more trial and error.
Right. Yeah.
For sure.
It's definitely cool. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind that. It's just that it's definitely for a niche case. If it costs, I don't know the exact cost. Okay, it's expected to cost $250, right? For $250, you could probably get yourself at least 2 cameras and a bundle of some kind from any, you know, general manufacturer, even from Amazon themselves.
You can actually get a pretty decent drone that's probably 3 or 4 times the size of this for $250.
Right, but this is for security. Yeah, if you gotta use it for your drone usage, then that's another thing. But I mean, it's not worth it yet. I think you should wait it out first. I mean, even like the new. So we also mentioned that they announced the new Echo Show 10. Their naming schemes are kind of crazy here. Echo Show
Yep.
10. So this one's different. It's like your Google Home. It's like your original Echo Show 10, the original Echo 10, where you have a stationary thing, display, and you can make commands like, "Hey Echo," "Hey Alexa, do all these things." That's cool. The difference is that they're kind of doing the same thing what Facebook did with their smart displays, which is if you didn't know about it, no one blames you. It came out, everyone ignored it. They got afraid of privacy for good reasons, and it just pretty much died. But this one, what they're doing is that the base actually moves. So when you're on a video call, this is more meant for like video calls and looking at content. It uses the camera to follow you. So if you say, "Hey Echo," or "Hey Alexa, can you get me recipes for making a pizza?" So while it's looking at the recipes, it's following you in the kitchen while you're going to the fridge, looking at it, open the fridge, you can look back, and you see the display always. So it's kind of neat. You always get to see the display all the time. But it does lead to creepiness because now what it means is that the camera's always on. So we're kind of back in the Kinect days where Xbox had always had the Kinect camera on. Now you're kind of in this situation where you always have the camera on to like get the cool feature of it following you. So it's kind of weird like that. It's also cool and useful for like video calls. Like if you call someone and say, "Hey, let's do a video call with each other," right? Like give me wait.
Oh, you walk around your house and have the drone.
No. This is for the Echo Show. So you have
the Echo Show. Okay.
You have the display rotating, following you while you walk around the house, while you walk around the room at least. So
okay,
that's cool. But you bring up a good idea though. They could take they could take that drone, put it under the Echo line, and say, "Hey, by the way, here's our new smart home device. Call it the Echo Always On whatever camera. And anytime you want it to make commands, it will just follow you. It will be your personal flying buddy."
Right. They already have drones that do that. Even the cheaper ones have follow me technology. So
the difference between this one and what you're saying, like because you're saying drones, right? Drones that just fly around and you control it. Yeah. But the one that you mentioned before, like, hey, why doesn't it just follow you around and make your commands and follow you while you're doing a video call and all that stuff? Well, that's a difference. Like drones right now, you buy from, let's say, like the Mavic drone from DJI. You can't do calls and it not sounding like shit because you have the fans, flying, right? You're doing all these. It's crazy. So I'm not sure if this drone that they have right now for the always on alarm system from Ring makes noise, but if they could make silent fans that don't get caught in the mics and you could have it follow you and like say, hey, you come home, right? You say, "Hey Echo, what's the weather like today?" And like, "Oh, it was good. Can you change the temperature?" And say, "Hey Echo, can you follow me?" Sure. It'll like get off its base and start following you around. "Hey, can you call my mom?" Sure. And then it'll follow it'll like recognize the back of your head, so it'll follow back to your face and follow you. Like, "Okay, hey, how you doing, Ma?" and all that stuff. Like you now have a floating camera, right, and a floating display and a floating everything. Like it'll be cool. But
I'm surprised nothing in your room reacted from you saying those commands.
No, definitely.
you know better.
I turned off everything for reasons. But it's cool though. Like that's definitely, this is like these two products that they came out. It's kind of the first step of that. You have one that's meant for security reason and one meant for just like day-to-day speakerphone, smart speaker, smart assistants. But if you combine the two, that's going to be like the next future level of things, especially if it's for home. And then if they could get the sound of a drone not sounding like a freaking pissed off bee.
A million hornets.
Like, it's too much. But yeah, I mean, that's the future, and it's kind of crazy that we're talking about stuff like that right now, but a lot of these companies are doing things of all different, fields. So, and these are all the things that we like. So we're
sorry for an almost 2-hour long podcast, but
enjoy it.
you have the benefit of skipping around.
Yeah.
We had to be here real time. But yeah, no. If you like any of the topics that we talked about, be sure to comment, like, follow, subscribe, all of the things. Let us know what you think. Definitely rate us.
Yeah.
In iTunes.
Yeah. If you have any feedback on anything, just let us know. We'll be posting this on YouTube. We'll be posting this on all the podcasts, Spotify, Apple News, Apple Podcasts, Google, etc. We're gonna have those up and running. Definitely Apple Podcasts and Spotify are gonna be there first, and then all the other ones are coming in soon. But yeah, we'll soon have a website too. We'll start posting those links as well, and yeah, just give us any feedback if you think we should improve on anything. If you like this kind of content, let us know. I know we're pushing 2 hours, but hopefully this is an enjoyable 2 hours. Maybe you're on a commute to work, or maybe you just need something playing in the background while you're doing, some task around the house. But yeah, if you have any kind of tips, any kind of things coming up you want us to talk about, send it to Slade Wade Podcast at gmail.com. We could get some insight from you guys, get some tips on that, and we'll see if we put it inside the next reel. But we're just going to generally every single week finding things that we like and want to talk about it. But if you send us some tips, we'll shout you out and not make fun of your name or butcher your name if we try, right?
Oh, that would be fun. All right. Well, I like that.
All right, guys. So this has been Slade
and Wade.
And we'll see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.